Thanks for stopping by my shop. As you know, my name's Chuck, and if you've been watching my channel over the years, you know that I really like to share things when I learn something. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I saw something recently on YouTube, and I came out here and decided to make a few of them, and I'll share it with you. The video that I watched, whoops, touched the button there. The video I watched was Jere Kirkpatrick, how to make your vise smarter. And there was just some great tricks, tips and tricks in there that for daily use. As you can see, here's my Wilton here in the foreground. And I'll show you the, I think he had 6 various attachments that he made for his vise. I opted to just copy 3 of them. And if we go back in time, anybody that's followed my channel, you know that back in the day, I used to grind and sell what I called screwy balls. And screwy balls were to use in the Kurt vise to hold irregular shapes. When I made that, Cosmo, I haven't seen him on my messages for a long time, but Cosmo, I think from Italy, said, hey, look at this device from a guy in Russia that makes a device that can tilt in the vise. And I looked at the photographs, and I copied his design, although I changed the back and put a dowel in it so it would rotate this way. Along with that, Herb Blair, my good buddy down in Texas, he built and made this for me. Got a ball in there, corrugated jaws on it, and the same thing. It can rotate and adapt as necessary to a part in the vise. So these are really, all 3 of those that I just showed work very good in the milling vise on the Kurt. Really not set up to use, daily use on the bench vise. I've got 4 bench vises here in my shop, and pretty much we'll look at a couple of them on how I have stuff set up on it. So let me, the first device I'm going to show you is this guy right here. And these are all scrap bin builds, okay? No, just go build it and make it work, and it'll sit on the welding table down below, and when the time is necessary, it'll be there. It's no showpiece. Basically welded a dowel on the back of it, and then I put a razor, a little block there to raise it up off of the vise. Sits basically, whoop, upside down, Charlie. Basically sits on the vise jaw, and you can see it'll rotate there. Let me relocate the camera, and we'll take a better look at it. Now it was kind of funny. I went through all my scrap drawers trying to find something that wasn't square. Now Jerry on his video shows using a crescent wrench, which is a really good example of how this device can hold something that's not straight. There's a taper on that wrench, and basically right there, and it's in there. So slight tapers like that, it works really well. Oop. Again, here's a small piece of taper. Now it has to be held down in lower in the vise because of the rock. But you can see there, it's followed the taper there, and it holds it. So there'll be times when this guy will be real handy. It won't work on you only have so much angle. But I think having it here and ready to go to work, it'll be a nice little addition to the bench vise. Let me set up number 2 for you. Okay, here's number 2. Now, this one, the way he designed it, it bites on the top of the jaw, and it has something to hold on to the bottom of the jaw. And it's for holding round pieces horizontally. I was looking at it and I said, geez, I think a piece of unistrut would just fit my Vise jaw, and just put a backer in there. And I had to mill a little edge off the unistrut, and it basically clamps right on top of my Vise, just like that. And there you go. Got a piece of round in there, works great. So that's a small piece of round, and somewhere here, doggone handle on this Vise is big. There's a piece of 2-inch Galvi, and bites it real well. So if you needed to go ahead and put a fitting on there, it'll work great. You've all experienced round things in square jaws, and you go to tighten it and how it spins. So nice little device. This one I threw in the glass beater to clean it up. A couple little teeny welds on it, and there you have it. Fun little build, and will very much be a useful tool. Let me move the camera and we'll go look at number 3. Here's his third device, and this one's a couple V-blocks where you could set up if you needed to weld some butt welds. Works really nice. He actually had a little tab here to try to use spring clamps on there. I found, for me, I thought was actually simpler, was just one of these small bungee cords. Now, okay, a small bungee cord, if you get this really hot, you're going to burn your bungee cord. But the bungee cord works pretty quick. I like it. The clamps work well also. And then I did find, let's see, if we go to the big, again to the big piece of pipe in there, pair of Vise grips actually bite down on it. So it's one of those tools you play with and experiment with, but it can hold all sorts of different sizes. If you went to something very small, again the bungee cord, no, this one I think I used the clamps. I think I had the clamps on these guys. Yeah, the clamp worked really well on that, small clamp. Bring the other guy in with a small clamp, line them up, and you can weld. I think it's a great little device. I opted to add a couple of dowels on the back, so it sits on the dowels when it's in the Vise, just for ease of putting it in and getting it straight. Nothing major on that, and then a room in here to get your torch in there if you need to. So that's my copies of Jere's. I'm going to show you one more that's I learned back when I was in my 20s, and it was just working in a shop. We'll switch cameras. So we're over here at my Parker Vise, and this was back working in an auto shop, and you'd have to hold U-joints or whatever in the bench vise. A couple of pieces of wood cut to sit like that, and you could just go ahead and bite on anything you needed to bite on and not damage the part. And of course the wood's gonna bite on it, damage them, you throw them away and make a couple of more. But those were real handy to use in the mechanic shop, and there you go, just tightening down on a piece of pipe with it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed these little hacks for the bench vise. I thought Jere was a genius on what he came up with on that. Stop over and visit Jere's channel. He's been working with Ron Covell. They're both just top-notch sheet metal guys, fabricators. Just awesome to watch, and you learn so much from Jere and from Ron Covell. Hope this was enjoyable, and thanks again for stopping by. As always, share the video. Comments are welcome. Hit the subscribe button and hit the ring the bell so you know when I put out new videos. Take care. Here's a couple of photographs to start this video. One is the U-line cart. As you can see, it's very stout actual unit and not cheap. I think I picked it up for $40 though. And you can see I've lowered it now if you had watched my previous videos. But lowering it, here's another photograph. As you can see, I used my automotive lift so I didn't have to get down on the ground. I can get down on the ground, but getting back up at my age is a task. But anyway, so this is where the grinder resides, and I've been going through all of my various attachments to make sure the position of the grinder on the table is what I want. Height-wise, it's supposed to be so that your elbows are at your side, and you're right at the height there. It does, actually, when you rotate it, it does come up a couple inches, so it's a 2-inch difference here when you do rotate it. Probably can show you. You can see it's just a little bit higher there. I can move the table. The other thing I've been doing is this, my table rod, which is extra long. I've been putting marks on where I needed to have it, and this is, I can cut off about 6 inches of it, and it becomes functional for all the various attachments. And so far this has worked out really well. It's actually for wood, but a good dust catcher that I've been using from day one. And once I get everything situated, I may look at you know, what other method I can do to attach it up higher and work it out. But it works good. Keep water in the bucket. So now it's ready to transfer the mounting holes to that plate. That plate is came off of a hydraulic lift table I got, so it's quite stout, and it transfers the weight to the 4 corners of the cart, because the actual cart lid is not it's not plate, it's sheet metal. So anyway, it looks good, so gonna continue on, and you'll see it somewhere down the road here.